Hi guys, welcome to CoderCrab. Okay, so now we'll check how we can create multiple components, and these components we're going to utilize these components with our current structure, and we'll pass data from one component to the other component. A child component will pass data to a child component. From child component, we'll send back the data to the parent component on event basis, right? So let's see that. So so here we have data and content. So these are not getting utilized, so I'll just get rid of these things. Okay, and here this data also, let's change this data. So first content one. Okay, so let's say in content one I have title. This is the title. Let's say some counter, and let's say some description, right? So this is an array, and this is the first object, and then second and third objects are there, let's say. Okay, this is the second object, and this is the subsequent third object. Okay, now this is second, third, okay, and let's say this is 3, this is 239, and let's get rid of the HTML. This one also not needed. Okay, this is also not needed. Okay, so now here we don't need these things, right? As we are going to design these things inside a component. So let's create a component. So to create a component, what we will do is a simple command ng generate, okay, or simply g, generate simply g component, okay, or simply c ng gc your component name. Let's say component name is card. I'll provide the command in the description along with the code, so no worries. Okay, ng-gc. Now we got a component here. You can see there's a card component, right? So now, as we got this card component here, we need to check the component here in the, okay, the card component is declared. So let's go and put the card component inside app component.ts. So what we'll do is we'll come here, and let's say here I'll put card components. What is the card components? The this editor name app hyphen card, right? So let's go inside this and put app hyphen card. Okay. Now you can see card works one time. Then let's put it two times. App hyphen here, hyphen here. So okay. So now let's go inside the card components HTML. Okay. This is card component HTML which you are seeing here after we injected. So now we need three things, right? Let's say your title. So that is S3, let's say. And then we will need the counter, right? So let's say this is H5 counter. And after that we have a P tag. Okay. So here in H3, what we want to show? We want to show the title, right? So let's go and show the title. So first we'll do a simpler way. So let's create three particular variables. So here we'll create three particular variables. Okay. So let's say title of type string equals to initially nothing. Okay. So title initially, let's say I'll just put sample just to see. So title, then counter, then description, right? So let's say description, then counter. Okay, so counter, let's say it's a number. So let's put this number is 34. Description, sample description. Okay, now let's put these values in the HTML. Okay, so this is title, here counter, here description. Okay, counter, then here description. Okay, so you can see all the three are having same data, right? Because they've hard coded. Now we need to pass these values from where? We need to pass these values from the parent component, which is app component, right? So let's go to the app component. Okay, so here I'll put some variables. Title equals to, so now as we know, right, we need to use the variables, right? So I'll put a square bracket for it. Then I'll put the variable name. So what is the variable name? We will take data dot title, right? So the first component holds the first value, so data of 0 of title. Okay, so let's see. So this will be data of 0 dot title. Okay, so let's see. Now this title we need to catch in the, we need to store in the, pass to the card component, right? Let's go to the card component. Here as we are passing it, so we have to put at the rate of input. Okay, input, we need to mark it at the rate of input. Okay, and this input we need to import in the Angular code. See, once I did it, we got this first content. You can see here, right? So the first content. So where was the first content? The first content was here, right? This value, data's 0th index title value. So let's go to the, yeah, here you can see in the app component HTML we have put data 0 title value. So that value is going to the child component, and inside that we are reading it, we are printing it, right? So let's put the similar thing here, more properties. Okay, this is title, then we have counter. Okay, so counter equals to again data of 0 dot counter, right? So this value data of 0 counter. Similarly we will put description e description equals to data of 0 of description. Okay, let's see. Yes, correct. Okay, now the error is coming because in card component we don't have those values, right? Those are not marked as input, right? So let's put, okay, let's go to this and resolve this thing. This, okay, you can see this is changed, right? So if, yes, so now, okay, so now we have this three variables which are coming from the properties which are coming from the parent component to the child component. So let's go back and put in all the three things. Okay, so let's take this and put it here and here as well, but the index value will change. It is second index and this is first index. Okay, so now we are passing the data to that and we are bringing back, we are printing it to the view. Now the thing is, this is, okay, this is one way of doing it, right? So now how would we, it is pretty simple. Okay, so you have taken three variables and you have marked it input and you have done it, right? The problem is if the object is very big, right, you cannot do this, okay, because you have to put a lot of, lot of data and it would go and very difficult, right? So instead of doing that, if there are lots of objects, what we need to do is we need to create an interface or data model. Okay, so let's see. So what I'll do is I'll simply create a new folder inside app. Okay, and I'll mark as model. Okay, inside this model, let's create a file, simple.ts file, data model.ts. Okay, in this file, what we will create is we will create a simple interface and export it. Interface data model. You can give anything. Then this. Okay, so here what kind of data it is? We have three records. One is title, so let's take title, type string, then there's a counter, type number, then description of type string. Okay, so this is the data model we have, right? Now let's import this data model inside the card component. Okay, what we'll do here, input from model slash data model. This data model we'll be putting here. Okay, data model. Okay, so now this data model, what we will do is, instead of taking the whole writing individuals like this, what we can do is we can put at the rate of input, and then we can put, let's say, data to show of type data model. Okay. Okay, so now let's change this first, okay, to the new property which we are putting here, right? So here what we are putting, data to show, and that we are putting to data model. So let's put this data to show here. Let's come here and put it here, and I'll change this to, I'll take the first property, right? Here as well, and the second object, and here as well, and then the third object. Okay, once this is done, let's go to the card component. Here what we need to put is, we need to put the variable which we are using here, right? So data.show, then data.show dot title, then data.show dot to show dot counter, data to show dot description. Let's see if it is same as the model. Yes, title, counter, and description, right? So let's save it. Okay. Okay. Okay, so let's bring that. Okay. Okay, now you can see the three values, three objects are coming here, right? Three of them are coming here. So this is how we can utilize a interface and do it. So one error you may face here, sometimes it may give you some error. So what you have to do is, it may say like undefined or something, you have to put a undefined here. Okay, it's like this, then it will go off. Otherwise you have to go to your Angular properties. Okay, Angular properties, you will go to this tsconfig, and here you need to change this strict to false. If it is by default true in the compiler options, you can basically, how I can show you here, if I, let's say, it is true, then what will happen, this error will come. Okay, so to get this error out, what we do is you have to put undefined. Okay, this is also fine. Otherwise you can go to the config and change it to false. This is also fine. Okay, so that's all for input decorator. Now let's see how, and this is how you can pass data from your parent to a child. So basically your parent is app component, and from here we are passing data to app card, right? So now to the card component. In fact, so from card component, how would you get back some data or some event to operate on to the parent, I mean to the app component here, that we will see next. Okay, so now let's put one small button here. So let us button, and here we'll put, let's say, send parent. Okay, let's only send. Okay, here we'll put a click function equals to send data to parent. Send data to parent function. Okay, let's create this function here. Send data to parent. Okay, so this function is here. Let's put some, it is a action, right? So now we need to create similar function, custom function in the while connecting this particular component inside the parent also. Okay, so let's go there. That is our app component, right? So here we'll create a custom function called custom event called, let's say, data from parent, sorry, data from child, data from card, okay, equals to one function. Okay, function name would, let's say, data from card function. Okay, and inside that you will be putting the event. Okay, so now let's create this function in the app component. Okay, so in the app component we'll create a function, and as we are sending the event, we'll put the event e, and here console dot log e. Okay, or let's say here I can put from card. Okay, so we have the function here, app component, we've designed the event here. Okay, so now let's emit it. Okay, to emit it, we will go to the card component, and here we'll create an emitter output. Okay, so this output is from, we need to import the output from the core. Okay, let's say, and what is the event emitter name which you have put here? Let's go and check that event emitter name. It is data from card. Let's put the same name equals to new. So we need to put a event, import event emitter also, event emitter, and put the same event emitter constructor of type, which type we are giving, data model. We can give string, anything. Okay, here as we are using data model, so I put data model. Okay, so that's all. Your new event emitter. Okay, so function name. Okay, okay, so now here we got the event. Now we need to emit the event, right? So let's emit the event. So now here this dot data from card dot emit. Okay, what will emit? We can emit any value. If you're putting string, you can emit any value, you can catch it, right? But we need to emit the object, right? So let's say this dot, this one. Okay, that's all. Okay, so now we've emitted. So let's see. We can click on the send button here, then we'll see that the event has been emitted here and we are getting this response here. So let's say we are putting the second one, nothing is happening. Why nothing is happening? Because we have not put the emitter there. So let's go to this and put the same emitter here. Put the same emitter, same emitter. Now if we'll click on this one, you see first component, second component, third component is emitting. First again, first component. Whatever you want to emit, emit it. So there are basically four things to design this emitting process. There are four things. First thing is who is emitting. The child is emitting, child component, right? So go to the child component, create a click event, or how you are emitting. You want to emit on a form submit. How you are emitting, you need to design an event emitter here. Then in this function, okay, second point is in this you need to design this function. Where you design this function? In the component, in the TS file of this child. There you need to create a event, output event he like this, and emit it. Okay, so how to create the event? This is again connected to the parent component. So go to the parent again and create the custom event here. Right, same custom event you will put in the emitter and whatever data you want to show. So let's say you don't want to put the data model. You want to show some string. Well and good, no issues. So you cannot, you have to keep a string only. So I am emitting. Okay. So let's say you want to show a number. Well and good. Let's say I. Okay. And in here, let's take this I. Okay. So now what I'll do is I'll go to the HTML and put this as your first one, second one, third one, right? So let's say we don't have a count. Let's say we put a counter to its value, right? So let's put the counter now. Okay. So now if we'll click on this, see, I'm emitting 23. See, I'm emitting 3. See, I'm emitting 239. So your emitting process depends on you what you want to emit. Okay. So that's all. I will be putting this code in the description. Thank you.